Welcome to Faith and Freedom. For the next few minutes, we hope to inform, inspire, and encourage you as we discuss legal victories and challenges to your fundamental freedom and religious liberties. Faith and Freedom comes to you from Liberty Counsel, a civil liberties education and legal defense organization. Join us now as Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel, explains the latest legal issues all across this country. In the courtrooms of America, Liberty Counsel is winning the battle for your constitutional freedom.
Together we are fighting to preserve the soul of the Republic. That's the title of our end-of-the-year Liberator, talking about issues that we've encountered in 2012. We want to talk about this today on Faith and Freedom. I'm Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel. Joining me is Matt Barber, vice president of Liberty Counsel Action. Matt, we have our end-of-the-year Liberator. It's typically a 4-page color, and this year it's 6-page color because of all the information that we have, and still it's just an overview. We want to, as a couple of programs as the end of the year, cover some of the things that Liberty Counsel has been involved in 2012. And we've broken it down into religious freedom, the sanctity of human life, and the family in terms of litigation. And then we also have other issues outside of litigation, since Liberty Counsel does litigation, education, as well as policy. So let's begin on religious freedom, some of the highlights that have happened in 2012.
Yeah, certainly the big one that we've talked about on Faith and Freedom before, they're all big, but the Obamacare ruling, the fact that Liberty Counsel's case representing Liberty University School of Law, very likely to go all the way up to the United States Supreme Court, really is the last best hope to derail this Obamacare out-of-control freight train. That's a big one.
Yeah, Liberty University versus Geithner, where we represent Liberty University, the largest Christian university in the world. And this case now has gotten new life breathed into it by the United States Supreme Court. Just a few weeks ago, the Supreme Court ordered the Federal Court of Appeals to rehear the case, and that means that we'll be moving back to the Court of Appeals and then from there to the U.S. Supreme Court on the issue of the employer mandate and also on the issue of the free exercise of religion for both that mandate and the individual mandate. Huge case. It got national news, and I think it breathes new life into our lawsuit, but also hope that we can take down Obamacare once and for all.
Yeah, very exciting. Of course, another big one, Matt, was we won a 3-0 precedent-setting victory at the Court of Appeals for Child Evangelism Fellowship, CEF, the Good News Clubs. It seems like they're under attack more and more every year. We've represented the Good News Clubs and CEF dozens of times. Here again, we had another big victory. And I'm pretty sure we're batting 1,000 with the
Yeah,
Good News
we've
Clubs.
never lost a case at the end of the day. Now, on this one, we lost it at the trial court,
right,
and then we appealed it and got it reversed 3-0. So at the end of the day, we've never lost a Child Evangelism Fellowship case. We've had over 150 cases of Child Evangelism Fellowship that sponsor the Good News Club. As a result of this win, the Good News Club began again in the Minneapolis School District. That's where they were banning it, and this is a great precedent-setting case that not only will affect that area, but also it has precedent around the country as well.
And in case our listeners aren't familiar with the Good News Club, a quick
Yeah, the Good News
synopsis.
Clubs are for elementary school children ages roughly 5 through 12, and it's essentially a high-powered Sunday school program in the public school immediately after school. They also have Good News Clubs in the communities as well, but this particular one was in a public elementary school, and the school shut it down because of its religious content. We ultimately filed suit and had a great victory. So that means that these young boys and girls in elementary school can learn about character development, morals, and be introduced to the saving power of Jesus Christ.
That's right. And another victory, we've had an attorney just harassing, abusing the court system, harassing Jews for Jesus, Matt. He's been sanctioned over and over again, over $100,000 in sanctions.
Yeah, we
against
just got another order from the trial in the appellate court against this Florida attorney. He had filed a lawsuit against Jews for Jesus, and this has been going on for like 10 years now. And he ultimately wanted to stop Jews for Jesus. He demanded $1 million. He really wanted to undermine the entire ministry. This individual is just very anti-Christian, very anti-religious freedom, frankly. Yeah. And the courts ultimately have sanctioned him multiple times. Now it's a total of over $100,000, and we're moving now to ultimately resolve this finally. But this individual abused the system. We pushed back and said enough is enough. Over and over again, the courts have sanctioned him. Over $100,000 he must now pay.
Yeah. Well, that's good news, and hopefully he and other people can look at this and learn from that lesson. Now, Matt, another really big one was the Giles County School Board case. The ACLU, unbelievably, this one is off the charts on the jaw drop meter, wanted to see jail time for people literally for praying. I'm sorry,
Yeah, this was they did want to see jail time in the
Yeah.
other case that we did win down in Pensacola.
And we'll get to that one. I'm talking about Giles County. Go ahead.
This was Giles County in Virginia, where they had a display of the Ten Commandments along with other documents of American law and government. Of course, the ACLU did not want the Ten Commandments, so they filed suit. The good news is that at the end of the day, they did not get any attorney's fees. We resolved the case. And now what we have on this particular display is the roots of democracy. Among these other documents, the roots of democracy actually come from one of the textbooks that we discovered in the case. And to the surprise of the ACLU, this textbook was by the secular publishers talking about the roots of democracy. And at the very top of that root of democracy was, guess what? The Ten Commandments as the root of democracy, and everything was flowing from it. And it talks about the Ten Commandments. It says, quote, the values found in the Bible, including the Ten Commandments and the teachings of Jesus, inspired American ideas about government and morality. So after the ACLU filed suit, we actually had a better display than before the ACLU filed suit with the Ten Commandments at the very root, showing that it influenced American government and morality. So the ACLU had to walk away with a significant limp. And
then we only enhanced the limp a little bit in Florida with a similar case involving the Ten Commandments.
That's right, in Ten Commandments case down there in Dixie County, Florida. This is a large granite monument that was placed in a forum by a person who's a construction owner, and he does various road construction. And the ACLU filed a lawsuit. We took it up to the Court of Appeals, and the ACLU's case was dismissed because they didn't have standing. It's still going on now. We're going to go back to the trial court. But this is an individual, the plaintiff, who doesn't even live in Florida, doesn't live in the county, doesn't plan to return to the county. He lives in another state, but he came to Florida thinking, well, he might want to buy property in that county. And then he saw the Ten Commandments, filed suit, said he's offended. The Court of Appeals ultimately said, that doesn't give you the right to file suit. We're going back down to the court to ultimately get this case finally resolved. Still going on, but we put a big ding in their lawsuit, and we may be able to get this thing completely tossed out of the system.
And the ACLU doesn't seem to learn. Now, Matt, obviously we have so many religious freedom cases we can't possibly cover in one episode, but a big one that I guess you can file under, maybe you better figure out who you're discriminating against before you discriminate against them. We won a federal lawsuit against a public library in Seaside, Oregon.
Yeah.
What are the,
Yeah, Seaside, Oregon said you can't use this community room, this common room for religious purposes. Well, the problem is that the entity that was wanting to use the room was Liberty Counsel. And they better find out who they're discriminating against.
That's right.
Before they do that, because we said, fine, you don't want to let us use it. We'll see you in court. We did, filed suit, ultimately won that case as well. And we also won this big case with the couple that was evicted. They were property managers. Mm-hmm. And they were in an apartment complex. They were property managers, so they were living in the apartment as well. It's part of their compensation. They had a stained glass picture that said, consider the lilies. That's all it said, consider the lilies, and underneath that had a scripture verse.
Yeah.
And a new person came in, ultimately not only fired them because of that, but evicted them from their housing. We took it to court, ultimately settled the case for over $70,000.
They walked away with significant damages. That case had been going on for
quite a while.
Years, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Good news. Well, Matt, I tell you, it's exciting, and I know we'll be talking more about this tomorrow, but it's exciting to get the word out on all the victories that Liberty Counsel has had, and we've only kind of scratched the surface.
Just scratched the surface. And, one other thing, we don't have time to go through all this. We published and distributed over 100,000 copies of the Patriot's Handbook on Religious Freedom in Public School and sent them to every principal, K through 12, of every public school in the country. Never been done before. There's many others. That's just under religious freedom. We didn't even get a chance to go over all of them. And in fact, this is just a sample. It doesn't go through an exhaustive list. We're going to be covering some other issues that we're involved with as well, life and family and other matters. So tune in on Faith and Freedom. I want to thank you for your prayers and for your partnership. Without your prayers and your financial support of Liberty Counsel, we wouldn't be able to do all these things. And all these things that we've done so far, and much more, we do at no cost to those people who are our clients. And if it weren't for you, we wouldn't be able to be there. But since we are there and we can show up, more often than not, we win. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for having this concern for this country and for the future of America and for future generations. Go to Liberty Counsel's website right now, lc.org, and remember us at your year-end contributions.
You have been listening to Faith and Freedom with Liberty Counsel. We hope that we have motivated you to stand up for your faith, family, and freedom. We can accomplish a lot when we work together. Get informed and get involved today. Sign up for our free monthly newsletter, The Liberator. We will send it out to you free of charge. Stay informed with our Liberty Alert email updates. Just click on the website at www.lc.org or call us at 1-800-671-1776. Tune in next time to learn more about your rights right here on Faith and Freedom.